Yeah, whatever. You boys go play basketball. Just give her the tunes and we'll all be happy. I suppose that works. Wheatland versus number 3 Lyman. This game being played in Lander. First quarter, Wheatland wearing the black. Nice moves by Braden Douglas, and he'll squeeze through 2 defenders and gets the first bucket of the game to give his team an early 2-0 lead. Then the Bulldogs would play a new trick. Douglas draws 3 guys inside on the baseline, and that means someone is open. Braxton Fagenbush had all the time he needed on that 3, and he buried it. The junior had a big game, and his team is up 6-2. Lyman would use the defense and transition game to get things going. Cisco Taylor's flying ahead of the fast break, and he'll finish the job on the right side to tie this game up at 6 points apiece. The opposition could do something similar. Tyler Pollock got the deflection. Dusty Nipper will start the fast break in the other direction. Great bounce pass to Fagenbush, who will lay it up and in on the 2-on-1 situation. The boys in black go up 8-6. They'd sniff out their scoring chances and find them quickly. Someone forgot about Brendan Ruart, who is wide open underneath. His teammates remembered, and now they're ahead 10-6. The lead would eventually grow to 7, but then the Eagles would take off and fly. Kyle Stokes had an eagle eye on this 3, and he hits the bullseye. That was better. His team now only trails 13-9. Wheatland was putting on their moves in the early stages of this one. Fagenbush is going spin cycle on this one, and that'll net him 2 more points to his totals. We'll tell you them later. That would make it 15-9. Meanwhile, Lyman was using their speed, and it was paying off as well. Stokes is way out in front, and no one's going to catch the senior. Like Fagenbush, we'll tell you how much he scored down the road. His team is down 15-11. We got a few seconds left before the end of the quarter, and Wheatland has yet to do what they do best, shoot the 3. This one's courtesy of Douglas. 14 points for the junior, and the boys in black were up 18-11 after the first 8 minutes. Second quarter, the Bulldogs would push their advantage up to 9, but the Eagles kept making sure they did not get too far behind. Stokes eyes it, spies it, and buys it for 3. That was some relief, but his team is still trailing 22-16. They would get closer. Tyson Gillies hits a roadblock, so all he can do is go straight up, over, and in, which he did. The junior contributed with 10 of his own, and it's now 22-18. But Wheatland was not about ready to give up the lead anytime soon. Nipper goes right by Taylor, and he has an open path to the hoop to push the score up to 24-18. Then Pollock is going to take a different path to the hoop, and he's got a bone to bury himself. The senior would pour in a dozen to help the Bulldogs eventually go up by 10 with the score at 28-18. This game was having its back and forth moments, and now it's the opposition's turn. Taylor passes up on the 3 and decided to go for 2 instead. He got the call but could not convert on the extra try, so his team is down 28-20. The senior put in 16 for the cause. Let's get someone new in here. How about Skylar Walker? He'll get in on the act for Lyman with this 17-foot jumper, and things were not all that bad for his club, although they were on the wrong end of a 33-26 score going into the locker room. Third quarter, Wheatland was doing a lot more than just going out for a walk on this highlight. Fagenbush is off to the races on this one, and he'll finish with a left-handed lay-in. 23 points for the junior, and he's got his team up by a score of 35-26. They wanted to get the lead into double digits. Douglas was given the sign that he wanted to take care of things himself, and he would come through here. That got the job done. The lead would eventually grow to 13 with the scoreboard reading 41-28. Lyman needed to get some points soon, or else the comeback bid was going to be more difficult. Stokes spots up for 3 and connects, but his team needs more, trailing 41-31. The Bulldogs were not about ready to lay down, though. Fagenbush with the assist to Pollock, and the defense realized it too late. The boys in black are ahead 43-31. This next highlight was a key point in the game. You'll see why in a little bit. Fagenbush strikes again, this time with a little lazy floater that drops in. The scoreboard reads 45-31, which is a 14-point cushion, Wheatland's biggest lead of the game. At this point, the Eagles said enough was enough, and they finally got things going. It starts with Taylor, and this 3 is tailor-made with his name all over it. Now they're down 45-35. Actually, Taylor was taking charge for a little while. Nice drive, puts up a shot, gets the bounce and the bucket. They're getting closer, trailing 45-37 at this point. Moving ahead, Lyman was spreading the love around, and then they realized that Taylor had a hot hand going. Look out below! A pair of free throws later, and the comeback would be completed. This game would get evened up at 45 all. But the Eagles were not done. There was more. Dalton Schofield is in the corner, causing his own brand of trouble. Lyman would close out the quarter on a 17-zip run, and a 14-point deficit is now a 3-point lead. They were up 48-45 going into the final 8 minutes. Fourth quarter, now things are getting good. Wheatland was not used to playing catch-up, but they held their own. Here's Jordan Castellanos. Drive, hoop, and the harm. That kept his team within striking distance, down 53-50. The Bulldogs are trying to get loose from their chain. Someone definitely let Douglas go on this one. The defense was waiting for the pass, and it did not happen. The boys in black are down 55-54. They were making their own little run in this game to keep things interesting. Fagenbush is hiding behind the referee and behind the three-point line, which is where he wanted to be, and his team is back on top by a score of 57-55. Wheatland was putting some bark to their bite. Pollock gets around and scores on the lay-in, and his team was in decent shape with a 60-57 advantage. Now Lyman was hurting a little bit because Taylor had fouled out, but they still had Stokes, and they needed every point he could give them. Fakes one defender, spots up for three, he's got it. 28 points were his numbers. Put some more time on the clock. We have a 60-60 score, and we have to keep playing. In overtime, the Bulldogs did not waste much time after the tip. Fagenbush has a double screen in front of him, and he's given his teammates three more. Somebody put a hand in this guy's face. Wheatland is up 63-60. Of course, I should say the same thing when referring to Stokes. He's going to count to three, and then he's going to move the ball through the hoop. Back and forth this game went. We're even again at 63. The Eagles put in a couple of free throws to go up by two, so Wheatland had to answer, and they went to the bench. It's Brickery Fisher scoring inside for his team. This is a March quality type game being played in December. Tied again, this time at 65. This game came down to the last shot, and the boys in black had it. The bench players came through when they needed to. Fisher's in the corner, three with 3 seconds to go. Lyman's Hail Mary try was not even close. Wheatland botched a 14-point third quarter lead, but managed to pull out a W in the extra time. Final score, 68-65.